Nicole, the Palestinian Authority pays terrorists. They call it pay to slay. You blow up a busload of Israelis, or, you walk into a pizza shop, as it was a famous case, and you kill mums and dads and kids in there having a meal on a Thursday night. And you end up, and if you take yourself out, of course, your pension goes to your family, your terrorist pension. But if you happen to survive, you get to have that money. And this is the case with about half of those prisoners let out of Israeli jails. They're back in Gaza, and they're basically millionaires overnight because of this money.
Just when we all think we can't be any more shocked about what has gone on and is still going on in Israel, and with people who have been convicted as terrorists, who have inflicted atrocities on the Jewish people and Israeli people, information like this comes out. Peter, what we need to see, and it has happened previously, is proper sanctions imposed if this is the case. And it does appear that this is still the case, and that these convicted terrorists, convicted killers will be receiving this money. The Western world, the UN, we know that won't happen, but countries need to take action, because this cannot be condoned under any circumstances.
And that's what all these Australians are marching for every weekend, for terrorists to get their pay. Let's go to the warning today from economists that the unions push, Jerry, to grant full adult wages to young people. This is across the sectors of retail, fast food and pharmacy. Could cost some 45,000 young Australians their first job, because the business, if they're going to have to pay full adult wages, aren't going to hire someone without experience. They're not going to hire the younger person. They'll go and hire someone, if they've got to pay the big wage, who's got the years of experience. And I think this is going to be bad for young people wanting their first job out of school.
That's exactly right. I mean, there's three potential outcomes that could come from this. The first one is that the costs of these wage increases are passed on to consumers. And in the middle of a cost of living crisis, when retail and food has already gotten so expensive, it means that the broader community bears the cost of this. The second one is that the businesses can't absorb it. And we've had a record number of business insolvencies this year, building on a record number the previous year. We've never been under more stress as an economy, particularly those small, medium-sized businesses. So this is just another pressure. Or the third outcome, as you alluded to, is that, well, young people just stop getting these jobs because it's no longer economically viable to pay them. Now, I've worked plenty of hospitality in my time. I did a fair few graveyard shifts at the Leagues Club, sort of pay my way through uni, and I'm sympathetic to people wanting to get paid more for their labour. But at the end of the day, these are meant to be entry-level jobs. They're meant to be opportunities for young people to get skills, to get experience, to gain confidence in the workforce. They're not necessarily meant to be jobs that you support a family and pay a mortgage on. And it's actually important to the health of our society that we do have these kind of jobs that do provide these kind of training pathways for young people. But then when you do need a little bit more cash, hopefully you've built that skill base to move on to something that pays a little bit better. So this is just a disastrous policy that's just being slapped on, and I do hope that we can push back on it and calmer heads prevail, particularly from the business community.
Yeah, I know. It's the unions shooting themselves in the foot here, though, because this is where a lot of people get their entry into work. Got to leave it there, Nick. Thank you very much.